Welcome back. Do you think you know everything about buying a house? Well, let's bust some myths today and save you from a facepalm moment later on. Today, I want to talk about 5 myths about buying a house and totally debunk them. Today, I'm breaking down the top 5 myths that could be steering you wrong or holding you back. And make sure you stick around for number 4. It could save you thousands of dollars. Myth number 1, you need to put 20% down as a down payment. So a lot of people think that you have to put 20% down right up front as a down payment. That is a total myth. You don't have to put 20% down. There are a lot of loan programs out there that allow you to put a lot less than 20% down. FHA, for one, allows you to put 3.5% down. There's a lot of conventional loan programs out there that allow you to put as little as 1% down, maybe 1 to 3% down. If you're a veteran or an active military buyer, you can do a VA loan, which allows you to put 0% down. If you're buying a house in certain areas, like certain areas of Kenosha County, there are loans with the USDA program that will also allow you to put 0% down. So make sure that you talk to your lender and discuss your options with them. 20% down isn't your only option. You can put a lot less down on your loan. I have buyers all the time that put a lot less than 20% down and move into the house that they absolutely love for a lot less than 20% down. Myth number 2, it's always better to buy than rent. That is a total myth. It's not always better to buy than rent. Buying is often seen as a better financial decision than renting, but it's not always the best choice for you. Sometimes renting is just the best move for you. If you plan on moving in the next year or two, if you don't know where you're going to stay for the long term, if you don't plan on staying here in the Kenosha area, if you don't plan on staying in the area that you live in for long term, maybe you relocate a lot for your job. Maybe you're not close to family, but you want to live close to family in the next year or two. Buying a house in the location that you're in right now probably doesn't make sense, because in the next year or two, your house probably won't have appreciated enough in value for you to have really made enough money when you turn around and sell your house. So buying a house, then turning around and selling it in the next year or two probably won't make a lot of sense for you. So renting instead, and then turning around and moving out of state or out of the city probably make a lot more sense for you than buying a house. Owning a house is amazing. You get all that equity, you have that pride of ownership, but having to ask your parents for gas money every other week, having to ask them for assistance to buy groceries and other things like that, is just embarrassing. So if you're house rich but money poor, you don't want to live that lifestyle. So if you can't afford a house, just don't do it. Keep renting. Trust me. Take it from me, a guy that sells houses for a living. If you can't afford a house right now, just keep renting. Plus, if you live a very active lifestyle where you're just not home very often, owning a house just may not be right for you. Market conditions also play a big factor in this. If the market just isn't right for you to buy a house right now, maybe it's a strong seller's market and it just doesn't make sense for you to buy right now. A lot of factors play a part into you buying a house. So if you think that buying may be right for you, come talk to me and we'll have that discussion. Maybe buying right now just isn't right for you. It's not right for everybody. Trust me. I have a lot of buyers that come to me and say, I'm thinking about maybe dipping my toes into buying a house, but I'm not sure. We had that discussion and we decide together whether or not buying a house is right for you or not. I've told a lot of people that I just don't think that buying right now is the best move for you. I think that you should continue renting for the next 6 months to a year, and we reevaluate your situation in about a year or so. Myth number 3, the asking price is non-negotiable. Some buyers believe that the asking price that they see on a house is non-negotiable. They have to pay full asking price for a house. Well, spoiler alert, asking price is totally negotiable. That's when you get a great agent like me and you get yourself a great deal on the house. I go to bat for you. Negotiation is part of the process. A good agent like me can help you get the best deal possible on a house. The asking price on a house is like the sticker price on a car. It's just a suggestion. It's not the rule. You don't actually have to pay that price. It's the starting off point for negotiations. When you're ready to put in your offer, you start negotiations there. Some things that we're going to include in your offer when we're negotiating with the seller are things like closing costs. We may ask the seller to help cover your closing costs. We put in your offer contingencies like your inspection contingency, your financing contingency. All these things have to get through before we actually get to the closing table. So if something comes up, we can always come back to the seller and say, hey, This came up during the inspection, or this came up during appraisal. We need to knock some money off of the asking price and knock the price of the house down a little bit. So the asking price is just the starting off of the negotiation for the house. So when you see the price of the house, but you absolutely love the house, remember that's just the starting off point. You can always go in a little bit lower and at least start the conversation off with the seller. Myth number 4: if the home looks fine, you don't need a home inspection. A lot of buyers, when they're walking through the house for the first or second time, they think this house looks fine, especially in new construction. This house is fine. It was just built, this year. I don't need a home inspection. Guess what? That is wrong. I always recommend that my buyers have a home inspection, no matter what. Even in a strong seller's market, even with multiple offers, try to get that home inspection in your offer, because you never know what that home inspector is going to find. Even the most beautiful homes, the home inspector can find something. Every now and then, the home inspector will find almost nothing, but usually the home inspector finds something wrong with the house. I've had buyers before that bought brand new new construction homes, and the home inspector went through there and they found multiple code violations with that brand new construction house that the new builder had to go back and fix. Things like there wasn't enough insulation in the attic. The deck that was put on the house wasn't secured properly. They didn't use the right 2x6s to build the deck. It wasn't secured to the house properly. It wasn't in the ground properly. One of the decks wasn't even secured to the ground at all. It was just the 2x6s were just kind of sitting on the ground a little bit. They weren't even in the ground at all. That's totally unsafe. If you had like 5-10 people up there, that deck could have collapsed on that new homeowner. So you want to have a home inspection because you never know what you can find. And builders, they cut corners all the time. So especially new construction, you want to have a home inspection done. Finally, myth number 5, spring is the only good time to buy a house. A lot of people believe that spring is the best time to buy a house because there's a lot more inventory and a lot more houses to choose from. While that is true, winter can also be a great time to buy a house because there's a lot less competition, there's less buyers. However, the sellers that are selling in the winter are a lot more motivated to sell. They may be more motivated to negotiate with you, come down the price. They may be pricing a little more competitively. So their house that was worth $300,000 in the summer or springtime, they may be pricing at $250,000 now. So you're getting a $50,000 discount in the winter as opposed to during the summer and spring months. So typically we see during the winter months, prices come down a little bit as opposed to the spring and summer months. So if you're serious about buying a house and you want a really great deal, maybe you consider buying a house in the fall or winter when prices start to come down or at least stabilize here in the Kenosha market. Why fight over a house in a multiple offer situation with multiple buyers in the spring and summertime when you can snag a really great house at a really great price in the wintertime? Seems like a no-brainer situation to me. Of course, timing and buying depends on every buyer's situation. Some buyers have to buy in the summer due to job, due to lifestyles, due to situations, and some buyers can't buy in the winter due to other circumstances. So I'm not telling you that you have to buy in the winter and that you can't buy in the summer, and that you have to buy in the summer and you can't buy in the winter. Everybody's situation is different. So of course, buy a house whenever the timing is right for you. So there you have it. 5 myths debunked. Home buying isn't as scary as it seems, especially when you know what's fact from fiction. If you have any questions, drop me a comment in the comment section below. All my contact information is down here below in the video description. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me a message. Happy to help any way that I can. I hope they have a fantastic rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.